Okay, then hi there, folks. We're going to be going from one extreme to another. So we're sticking with 1/72 after the last video of the Abra Vulcan. I did tell you this one was going to be coming. So Eduard have done a 1/72 Messerschmitt 109. Now again, a little bit of backstory. Of course, this is one of the kits that they're doing in conjunction with Special Hobby. So we've technically already seen this kit as a single. This is part of their Battle of Britain push this year. So this is the Adlerangriff boxing in 1/72. So again, we've seen the 1/48. This is the 1/72. So lovely little box, much smaller than their average one. Literally just a thumb thickness, about the same size as a small board game box. So we've got that stunning, beautiful artwork, which I think Carol did in-house. We have options list down the side. This looks like we've got option for 13 different ones, which I think is again the same options as came in the 1/48. We have a little bit about which one. So we have a dual combo, so there's 2 kits in there. Resin wheels, and I say that massive decal option sheet. So it's kit number 2136. Got a little bit of bump from the side there. Some colours for, I think, all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. There we go. Right. What do we have here? Oh, cute. After the last one where I just didn't know what to do with the sprues, we have, now this is unusual. So I was just praising our Airfix for actually having everything in separate bags, and we have an Eduard kit in one bag. Normally that's only if it's someone else's kit that they've nicked. So we'll have a look at the instructions in just a moment. So we'll have a very quick look at the bits and pieces in the bottom. So we have those lovely resin wheels. I'm going to go super detail-y. Again, I can just about read the manufacturer's. That gives you an idea of the size. That's my thumb. Look. Teeny tiny. We have the mask set just there. Lovely. Make life that a little bit easier. We have Eduard Decals. So I'll have a quick look at those. And again, options there for black and red stenciling. So I won't get too mad, but let's pull it out. So again, not cartograph, sticking with Eduard's own in-house, rightly or wrongly. Talk amongst yourselves, see what you think. That is very sticky. There we go. So they look very nice, just nicely glossy. Got options there. Again, the things that we shall not mention are up there if you wish. Looking very, very nice, all the various different versions. More stencils on that one there with the words on. We've got options for decals for the instrument panels. Again, it's probably enough in this scale, you know. It's going to be absolutely tiny and you can see very little down there. They'll look quite nice. Don't bother with the stencils, you know what they're going to look like. We still do have etch there. Prefer to go for that option instead. So we've got belts, we've got instrument panels, the slightly newer versions. So we've got the glossy sections to the centres and a bit across the top, and some vents and stuff again, which are beautifully tiny. 2, of course. And the little extra in here this time round is again a little figure. This time I don't think it's actually supposed to be Adolf Galland, but it's just a generic German pilot who looks pretty darn awesome. He's super cool. His hand in his back pocket. He's going to be pretty cool. So, instruction time. So again, beautiful artwork on the front there. This is quite a chunky tome here. I think we know why. So we've got a lot about, again, the 109 during the Battle of Britain. Adolf Galland, of course, the man himself. Refueling after being captured, and that's in English and then in Czech. And then we're going in normally, trying not to get too much reflection off that. It's a better or worse, not sure. So we've got a breakdown of the parts here, including all the extras just towards the bottom. We've got colour callouts in Mr. Hobby and Mission Models. And we're going straight in, of course, for the cockpit. So again, we've got options for plastic or PE, if you prefer, for pedals and stuff like this. Again, even though you'll never ever see them all the way down there. Some nice little details again, yoke going in, and then the seat, of course, again, with those etched buckles, etc. Teeny tiny. Then we've got the options again for the instrument panel, whereby if you want to go for the moulded detail, if you want to go for the decals, or if you want to go for the PE, and it looks like we have different parts depending on which one you want to go for there. This is all. Then you got actually the gun bay for the nose guns, where the nose guns are going in there. Again, depending on which one you're going to do, open or close cowling. We have an engine, 1/72. A teeny little engine, all going together nicely there, and then some side detail again with some optional PE parts if you prefer the refinement. Fuselage sides going together again with the engine in if you're going for that. Cockpit being mated in. Looks like the exhausts are going in now. So that might make a little complicated masking later on, but there we go. Cowling's going over the top, straight into the tail. I can tell you right now, a little bit of a tip with a lot of World War II aircraft. Don't put those tail planes on yet. Put them on right at the end. It makes painting and masking up this section at the back here a lot easier. So that goes on. These, keep them off. Tail wheel going in already, and again I'd be interested to see if that's possible putting that on later on, otherwise I would probably knock it off, knowing me, because I'm a klutz. We've got detail going in for the undercarriage bays and the radiators. Again, depending on which version, depends on which ones you go for, so make your mind up what your markings are early on. We've got flaps going on. Again, more about radiators. Again, just reminding you this section here with these bumps or not, depending on which versions you're going for. We've got some tiny little etch details going on to the canopy. If again you want a little bit of refinement, the mirrors and stuff like this. Can't believe they're going into that much detail in 1/72, but okay. And then the actual canopy hood itself, more details going on with some more differences depending on which marking you're going for. So ACD was that one, DG on there, and of course options for open canopy. We have the little P stay there, which is quite nice. Telling us about the part, not telling us any colours or anything. All right. The rear of the canopy going on, wings going on to the fuselage. The what else called them? Not ailerons. The little stays at the front there. Prop going on. And then we have the undercarriage going on, where we even have etch lines, etc. For the undercarriage legs, which is pretty awesome. It shows you that splayed look that they have. Even the wheels are slightly splayed out. And we have, again, an explanation of the masks there, depending on, again, which version you're going for and whether or not you're using the resin wheels. So, marking options. I'm going to be reasonably quick with this, because, again, I think they are the same options from the 148 kit. And terribly sorry if I butcher any of these names. But we have a E3 from Herbert Kunz in June 1940. We have an E4 from Werner Machold, again June 1940 in France. An E1, Hans Krug, July 1940 in France. We have a nice mottled one here from Josef Frozo, E4 from July 1940. The Canal Kampf, so a little bit later on. We have a nearly desert looking one, with the options at the top there. Orla Motu on the outside from Adolf Galland. in August 1940, and again a little bit of bump, of course, about him being all famous and stuff. We have a later one, so an E3 from Adolf Galland from late August 1940, when they added the little yellow tips to it. We have the white tipped, fairly famous one there. Why is it not actually tell us which version that is? Okay, we have Oberlieutenant Franz von Vera from September 1940. Doesn't actually say which L that is, but I'm sure you can figure it out. With the white tips, looks like we've got a difference in colour as well around the cowling at the front there. So worth taking a quick look at. From the Blitz, we have this beautiful traditional looking, how you expect them to look, Battle of Britain, August 1940, E1 from Ernst Arnold, so Adlertag. And again on the next one there with the yellow tail as well, an E1 from Erich Mummert, again September 1940, so just after the Battle of Britain. We have this cool one here. I'm really not sure I want to try this one, but it's an E4 from Wilhelm Meyer Weissflog. If any German viewers, tell me how I've terribly butchered that. With the really cool red stripe on the spinner cowling and the white at the back. And Oberlieutenant Josef Frozo again from later on, September 1940. Again with the cartoon characters and the yellow. E4 from Oberlieutenant Egon Troher from October 1940. And this cool crisscross one. Cool crisscross camo there from E4 from Bernard Mashlewski. That sounds... where was he from? From October 1940. And then finally we have the stenciling positions on the back. Awesome. Right. Now, let's get into the bit that everyone wants to see. So, we have one huge bag with everything in it, including the clear parts, which I'm not down with at all. I know, again, this is sort of someone else's kit, but it's also sort of not. So, how many parts have fallen off? Several, and they're clear. So, we have front canopy, which does look quite nice, and thankfully doesn't appear to be damaged from being knocked about. And we have that's another front canopy, sorry, which again looks nice and clear. Again, the skirt's absolutely tiny. I'm trying to even hold it so you can see it. Thankfully again, doesn't look damaged at all. So carefully picking out the rest of the clear parts. So again, obviously the front canopies and the rear canopies, they look quite nice, but it's these parts here that are really the important parts. Whether you got it open or closed, how clear are they, and they look stunning. Simple as that. So we're not going with the usual Eduard circle. We're going with a fairly normal square. You know, I imagine again the way this is built, obviously again to make two, you could have just like one square for the weekend edition kit. And away we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put all those in that bag alone, and I'm going to let the rest go free without a bag, because I don't want any of that going missing ever again. Okay, let's keep them a little bit more protected. Okay, right, proper sprue time. Let's take a look-see. So, okay, so unlike the Tempest, these sprues are not stamped as Eduard, not stamped as anything at all. But, straight away, wow. Holy moly, there's some detail on there. We are talking a wing, which again, if you know, built a 1/72 109, that is barely 6 centimeters in length. And that is detail which a lot of companies would not have in 1/32. In fact, actually, I'm doing Revell's 1/32 Mustang right now. Okay, and that doesn't have, well, any detail whatsoever, really. A lot of it is all added in afterwards. We have the tail parts there, looking lovely. This is for the E1, apparently. We have that little engine. We have the cowling. Looks pretty awesome. Fuel tank and tail section there. Lovely, delicate little pips on that, which are supposed to be there. They're not flash. It really is that delicately moulded. Fuselage there. Is that? No, there's nothing on it. Got a little tiny detail on the inside there. I don't know where you'll really see that, but I guess you'll see it through the inside of the wheel bay. That's the other wing there. And the all important underwing just there again, which has detail which would make a lot of 1/48 and even 1/32 kits cry. That is so ridiculously tinily delicate. If we compare this against, say, what most people would normally build when they build in 1/72, which is, say, the Airfix one, there's, well, not so much there. One of my other guys there hand painting this, but gives you an idea. That much detail, or that much detail. And don't forget, in terms of price, by the way, there isn't a lot of difference. There really isn't. On the backside, unsurprisingly, there is absolutely nothing anywhere where, well, actually, there's just nothing, to be honest. I can't see any ejection sections at all. They all seem to be completely off the sprue, off the part. So on the sprue itself and off the parts of the here, and they're nowhere near there, like 3-4 inches away from any actual parts. We've got some lovely little detail on the inside of the cockpit again. Whether or not that will really be able to be seen or not is an option. We give some detail there on the inside of the wheel bay, which we like. We have a very, very similar looking sprue here. This one is marked Special Hobby. So this is how the crossover happens. This is the E3, 4 and 7 options. So looking very quickly, we've only really got the one sprue if you want to do, oh, it is marked Special Hobby, the E1. So although we've got two kits in here, we've only got one E1 and one everything else. Okay, so again, this all comes down to that lump there, mainly, underneath the wing, which is, of course, not on the other one. If I can get to focus, not on the sprue in the background. There we go. There you go. So there's your main difference, is just there. So the one's got that lump on there, the other one doesn't. But other than that, it is very, very similar. It's still basically the same sprue. And then we're down to the tiny little details, again, of which we have two of. I think, where are we again? So again, they are specific. So the sprues are different. This is the sprue for the E3, 4 and 7. Details which again look fantastic. We have the optional plastic wheels if you don't want, and pedals if you don't like etch. We have the exhausts there that aren't hollowed out, but again at this scale, we've got the bits for the engine again holding it out in place. We've actually got a tiny little bit of flash. Nothing again that your now wouldn't pull off though. Some wonderfully delicate little machine guns there. The props looking good. Tail wheel absolutely tiny. It doesn't look like you can put that on later on, so you have to be careful with that. Some little rivet detail on the doors there, and the radiators. Don't know if you can see that or not. So subtle and special hobby marked. So remember, this isn't like most of their limited edition kits. This isn't really someone else's kit that they've stolen, despite the obvious. This is one they've done in conjunction with, which I've mentioned before. That's a piece of the front of the engine there. More cowlings, options for noses. You got the centre cannon or not. The early ones, I think that was the E1. Looking pretty darn cool. And again, on the back side, I'm not seeing absolutely anything on any part that you're going to notice whatsoever. In fact, I just don't see it on any of the parts. Well, there's the seat. Looking nice. We have the instrument panel, which of course is utterly tiny, and certainly looks the part. I don't know what the other part is. Should be more instrument panel somewhere, but I can't see it from here. Prop again, looking nice. Tiny little bit of flash on the edge there, just whiff that off and away you go. That's pretty cool. And then we have this optional one here, which is for the, I think it should be the E1. No, sorry, that was the E1. This one's for the E3, 4 and 7. But it is realistically the same sprue, just with some minor detail differences. So yeah, wow. I mean, how much detail is there on those legs? And remember, you're going to add more detail with the etch if you wish to, which is utterly fantastic. Even the little plastic wheels, if you don't fancy using the resin ones, are really nice, especially in this teeny tiny size. Again, some rivet detail there on that cowling for the bottom. Again, just looking through some of these smaller parts. You know, the tiny little details that you've got here, and you can see the size of my finger in comparison. Little turbocharger, little tiny vents and stuff on the pedals, etc., is just ridiculous. The back side again, nothing to see there. So yeah, wow. Don't let the special hobby tags put you off. So this is very much Eduard style, and will look very much in place if you have their 1/72 Mark 9 or their fuck all 490s. If you're after a really nice quality 1/72 109, go and grab one. If not, literally this boxing, which I think is great value. I don't normally talk about money per se, but I think it's worth mentioning with this one, because obviously the sort of kits that we'll be going up against. So I paid 24 quid for this dual boxing, so that's like 12 quid each. And that, of course, is the kit itself, 13 decal options, etch, resin, and, well, you saw the kit itself is just fantastic. When you remember that you're sort of, you know, again, say Airfix one would be like sort of 7, 8, maybe even a tenner each. You think for an extra 2 quid, look at how much more you're getting. So yeah, I would even go as far as to say they're great value. So whether or not you go for the special hobby boxings or the Eduard boxings doesn't really matter too much. It's basically the same kit underneath, and it looks fantastic. So highly recommend it, and suggest that you'll go and get one. They look lovely. See you again shortly. Bye bye.